Broadcast exports allow you to pull information from any mass text or email campaigns or one-off mail shots that you've decided to launch through Gecko. To get started, go to Settings, Export Data, and click New Export in the top right-hand corner, and make sure you picked Broadcast as the card. Now, it's important to note that when you do run a broadcast, the first thing you'll be asked to do is to choose which broadcast we're exporting information from. Go ahead and pick one, but do note that you're now telling Gecko only export the contacts who have been in this broadcast. All other contacts on the system will be exempt. Give your export a name. Choose who receives the export, so you can choose up to multiple and any number of Gecko existing users, and you can also manually add email addresses for external non-Gecko stakeholders. You can choose to filter your results, so do we by default include absolutely everyone, or do we want to exempt it so that we're only included people who succeeded or had any of these particular statuses. So too, you can also add a filter which says only include students who have been added to the broadcast in the last number of hours, days or weeks, or over a fixed defined date range. What it comes down to ultimately with the export, though, is building up a tapestry of exactly how you want your outputted CSV file to look when it's exported. And to do that, you head to the Create Custom Export section, and you tell Gecko what should be in column A, what should be in column B, what should be in column C, and so on and so forth. Now, these can be fully renamed, and the default fields here allow you to pull out the Gecko contact ID, their outcome, the status of their contact in the broadcast currently, and their subscriber ID. It's likely that you would want to add additional information to this as well. So the good news is you can pick and mix exactly what you want to add. A common one might be adding information from the contacts record, for example, and telling Gecko, hey, we want the student's full name and email address as well, so we know we're not dealing with these abstract contact IDs. You can also choose to include and pull in information from any events that they've attended, any forms they've submitted responses to, and consent organization and call data. When you're happy with the structure, you can choose to make this a recurring export that will repeat on whatever date range or frequency you'd like. And you can set end dates if it's a recurring export too, or you can manually come in and stop it at any time. You can also choose to send this to an SFTP server, which is useful for certain types of integration. The final things to note are that when you're happy with the structure of the export, you can save yourself time in the future if you want to run this again by saving it as a template, which means when you come in to build a new export, you just simply select your template and everything will be pre-configured. When you're ready to go, just hit the export button, and in a couple of seconds later, you should receive that email with your outputted results.